There's something heartbreaking about lying awake at night, staring at the ceiling while your joints throb and ache as though they're on fire. You shift from one side to the other, searching for that magical position where the pain might ease, only to find the stiffness growing stronger. For many people over 50, this is the secret thief of joy. Arthritis pain that steals not just comfort, but precious sleep, leaving you exhausted before the day even begins. But what if there were simple, natural ways to quiet that pain, calm inflammation, and help your body finally rest? Tonight, I want to share with you three powerful evening drinks that have been trusted for centuries, backed by science, and proven to soothe tired joints. I'm Dr. Brian, and welcome to Channel Wellness Blueprint Over 50. Let's explore how a warm mug in your hands could become the first step toward healing. Every morning in my clinic, I meet men and women who tell me the same story. They wake up stiff, their knees reluctant to bend, their hands refusing to grip the coffee mug the way they used to. Some of them whisper that they dread evenings most because the pain grows sharper as the day fades, robbing them of rest. Arthritis isn't just an ache, it's a shadow that follows you, turning simple joys like walking with grandchildren or gardening into uphill battles. Yet despite this, many still search desperately for safe, natural relief they can truly count on. I still remember a patient of mine named Evelyn, a retired teacher in her 70s who came to see me because her arthritis pain was stealing her nights. She said, "Dr. Brian, I can't even enjoy reading in bed anymore. By the time I lie down, my fingers throb too much to turn the pages." We had tried different medications, but she wanted something gentler, something she could make a part of her evening ritual. That's when I suggested a simple tea made with ginger and cinnamon. Within a few weeks, Evelyn returned with a smile. She told me she was sleeping through the night for the first time in years. It wasn't a miracle, it was consistency, paired with the natural power inside those two humble spices. So what makes ginger such a healer? Imagine inflammation as little sparks inside your body, flaring up in your joints like a campfire that just won't die down. Ginger contains a compound called gingerol, which works like a calm, steady hand pouring water on those sparks. Scientists have shown that gingerol blocks certain enzymes in the body, the very same ones targeted by some arthritis medications, but without the common side effects that trouble so many people. A study published in the journal Arthritis and Rheumatism found that patients with knee osteoarthritis experienced significant pain relief after using ginger extract consistently. That's science confirming what traditional healers have known for centuries. But ginger doesn't work alone. When paired with cinnamon, the effect becomes even more powerful. Cinnamon carries an active compound called cinnamaldehyde, which does something remarkable. It helps reduce the levels of inflammatory markers in the blood, such as C-reactive protein. Think of C-reactive protein like a red warning light flashing on the dashboard of your body, signaling inflammation. Cinnamon helps to dim that light, allowing your body to find its balance again. And there's more. Cinnamon also stabilizes blood sugar. Why does that matter? Because spikes in blood sugar can fan the flames of inflammation, making arthritis worse. By keeping levels steady, cinnamon helps cool the body's fire. Now let's make this practical. Preparing this tea is as simple as taking fresh ginger root, about the length of your thumb, and slicing it into thin pieces. Place it in a small pot of boiling water and let it simmer for 10 to 15 minutes, enough time to draw out those healing compounds. Then add half a teaspoon of ground cinnamon or a stick if you prefer the aroma. Let it steep for another 5 minutes. Once you pour it into your mug, you can stir in a teaspoon of raw honey for a touch of sweetness, but wait until the tea cools slightly so the honey's natural enzymes remain intact. A squeeze of lemon adds an extra boost of vitamin C, which supports collagen in your joints. Now here's the part most people overlook. It's not just about what's inside the cup, but how you drink it. Sip it slowly, about an hour before bed, while you let your body unwind. This tea contains no caffeine, so it won't disturb your sleep. Instead, it relaxes your muscles, calms your digestion, and helps your nervous system shift into rest mode. The warmth alone soothes the hands, chest, and belly, as though you're wrapping yourself in comfort from the inside out. Evelyn described it to me as a hug in a cup. The real key is consistency. One cup will bring comfort, But night after night, the benefits compound. After a week, stiffness begins to ease. After 2 weeks, you may find climbing out of bed less daunting. Over time, your joints feel more cooperative, your sleep deeper, your mornings brighter. And it's inexpensive. Two simple spices that most of us already keep in the kitchen. But beyond the science and the savings, there's something deeper. Ritual itself has healing power. Taking a few quiet minutes at the end of the day, holding a warm mug between your palms, breathing in the spicy aroma, it tells your body and soul it's time to rest, to release the tension of the day, to let healing begin. That's the gift of ginger and cinnamon tea. It's not just arthritis pain relief, it's a gentle reminder that nature still holds remedies we can trust, and that even small steps, one sip at a time, can lead us back to comfort, back to rest, back to ourselves. Not long ago, I met a gentleman named Charles, a former carpenter who loved working with his hands. By the time he reached his late 60s, his fingers were swollen with arthritis and his nights were restless. He told me, "Doc, I feel like my joints creak louder than the floorboards I used to repair." What troubled him most wasn't just the pain itself, but the lack of sleep it brought. He would doze for an hour, wake up with throbbing knuckles, and then pace the house at 2 in the morning. That cycle of pain and sleeplessness was wearing him down. Together, we explored something he had never considered before: unsweetened tart cherry juice. Within a month, Charles noticed something surprising. He was still living with arthritis, yes, but the pain had softened, and his sleep was more restorative than it had been in years. So what's the secret inside these ruby red cherries? The answer lies in anthocyanins, the pigments that give tart cherries their deep, rich color. You can think of anthocyanins as nature's firefighters, rushing into the bloodstream to put out the flames of inflammation. They work in a way similar to ibuprofen, easing swelling and calming joint pain, but without the stomach irritation or other side effects that often come with daily medication. Research backs this up. A study published in the Journal of Food Studies reported that people with osteoarthritis who drank tart cherry juice experienced significant reductions in pain and stiffness after just a few weeks of consistent use. That's not folklore. That's science catching up with tradition. But tart cherries offer another hidden gift, one that's especially valuable for anyone who's tossing and turning at night. They're one of the rare natural sources of melatonin, the hormone your brain produces to regulate sleep. Think of melatonin as your body's internal dimmer switch. When the lights go down in the evening, melatonin rises, gently guiding you toward rest. For people with chronic pain, sleep is often the first thing stolen, and poor sleep only intensifies the perception of pain the next day. By drinking tart cherry juice in the evening, you're not only soothing inflammation, but also nudging your sleep cycle back into rhythm. Now let's talk about how to make it work. About half to 3/4 of a cup of pure, unsweetened tart cherry juice an hour or two before bed is enough. Some people prefer it chilled straight from the glass, others mix it with water if the tang is too sharp, and still others warm it gently on the stove, sipping it like tea in the colder months. However you choose to drink it, avoid the sweetened versions. Added sugars are like fuel on the fire of inflammation, undoing the very benefits you're seeking. It may take a week or two for your body to fully adjust, but that's the nature of gentle, natural remedies. They build quietly, steadily, restoring balance day by day. Pairing this juice with a light evening ritual makes it even more effective. A gentle stretch, a short walk after dinner, or even a few minutes of deep breathing prepares your muscles and joints for rest. Imagine it as a trifecta: movement to loosen stiffness, cherries to douse inflammation, melatonin to invite sleep. Over time, that combination becomes a nightly gift to your body. What I love most about tart cherry juice is that its benefits go beyond arthritis pain relief. It supports cardiovascular health, lowers blood pressure, aids muscle recovery, and may even protect the brain from age-related decline. You're not just helping your joints, you're nourishing your whole system. Charles told me one of the best surprises was that his mood lifted. He wasn't as irritable in the mornings because he was finally sleeping. Pain may not have vanished, but life felt manageable again, and that's the heart of it. Tart cherry juice isn't a cure-all, but it's a gentle ally. It helps your body exhale after a long day of strain. It eases you into a sleep that heals instead of torments. And most importantly, it reminds us that even in something as small as a glass of juice, nature offers us powerful tools for reclaiming our nights and our days. Each sip is a quiet step toward relief, toward rest, toward waking up not in pain, but in peace. When I think about golden turmeric milk, I remember Maria, a vibrant grandmother who adored dancing. By her late 60s, arthritis had stiffened her hips and knees so much that she told me with tears in her eyes, "I can't even sway to the music anymore, Dr. Brian. It feels like my body has betrayed me." She longed for a way to calm her pain without relying on more pills. That's when I introduced her to the nightly ritual of golden milk. 3 months later, she returned, not dancing yet, but moving with greater ease and smiling as she told me she could finally sleep without waking from pain. What she discovered, and what I've seen in so many others, is that golden milk isn't just a drink. It's an ancient remedy that soothes both the body and the spirit. At the heart of this golden potion is turmeric, a bright yellow spice often used in curries, but treasured in traditional medicine for thousands of years. Its healing magic comes from curcumin, a compound so powerful it's often compared to prescription anti-inflammatories. If inflammation is like a fire smoldering in your joints, curcumin is like a skilled firefighter, targeting the very sparks that cause the flames to spread. One of its main actions is blocking a molecule called NFKB, a sort of master switch that turns on inflammation throughout the body. By quieting that switch, curcumin helps calm the swelling, stiffness, and pain that arthritis brings. But here's the catch. Curcumin is notoriously hard for the body to absorb. That's where a pinch of black pepper becomes the unsung hero. Black pepper contains piperine, a natural compound that boosts curcumin absorption by up to 2,000%. Imagine curcumin as a key and piperine as the oil that helps it slide smoothly into the lock. Without black pepper, much of turmeric's healing power simply passes through the body unused. Together, though, they create a potent partnership. Now let's bring this remedy to life in your kitchen. Start with a cup of milk. This could be dairy, but plant-based options like almond, oat, or coconut milk work beautifully and are often easier on digestion. Warm it gently on the stove, never letting it boil, because slow heat allows the flavors and compounds to blend fully. Add half a teaspoon of ground turmeric and just a pinch of black pepper. If you'd like extra flavor and healing support, stir in a little cinnamon or ginger. Let the mixture simmer gently for a few minutes, then pour it into your favorite mug. If you want a touch of sweetness, add a teaspoon of raw honey once it cools slightly. The result is a golden drink that glows like sunlight in your hands. But golden milk is more than ingredients, it's an experience. As you sip, the warmth spreads through your chest and belly, loosening tight muscles and easing the weight of the day. Turmeric doesn't just soothe inflammation, it supports liver health, aids digestion, and helps regulate cortisol, the stress hormone that so often fuels both pain and sleeplessness. Lowering cortisol is like lowering the volume on an overworked alarm system, giving your body permission to rest. That's why golden milk is best taken at night. It not only helps your joints, but also your mind, preparing you for deeper, more restorative sleep. For Maria, this ritual became sacred. She told me she would light a candle, wrap herself in a blanket, and sip her golden milk slowly while listening to soft music. It wasn't just about the relief in her knees. It was about reclaiming a sense of peace. Over weeks, her mornings grew easier, her mood brighter, her hope stronger. And while her arthritis didn't vanish, the grip it held over her life began to loosen. Golden milk is, in many ways, ancient wisdom in a cup. It reminds us that the path to healing doesn't always lie in complicated treatments, but often in small, nurturing habits practiced with care. Each evening cup is a step towards soothing inflammation, easing stress, and gently reclaiming mobility. And when paired with consistency and patience, it becomes more than a drink. It becomes a message to yourself that even now, at this stage of life, healing is possible, comfort is possible, and peace is possible. So tonight, as you prepare for rest, remember that your path to arthritis, pain relief, and joint comfort may begin not with another pill, but with a simple drink: ginger and cinnamon tea, Tart cherry juice, and golden turmeric milk each carry nature's quiet strength, offering less stiffness, deeper sleep, and renewed ease in your movements. Healing is never instant, but with patience and small, consistent steps, change unfolds. I want you to know it is never too late to reclaim comfort, to move more freely, and to feel joy again. One sip at a time, you are choosing hope,